Confidence. My name is Ben, and you've probably never heard of this show. On today's episode number 2, I'm going to take you over to Steamboat Springs to look at the land, specifically how we're going to position our home on the land. Sleds? Check. Snowshoes? Check. Charged up? Check. All right, we just arrived here at the property. Let's go take a look. So I just snowshoed up to the flattest spot on the property, and I'll give you guys a little tour. This is due south. And if we turn, obviously, this right here is due north. The concern here is that I want to catch the views of the ski hill. And that's about 30 degrees off north. So you can see the conundrum that we have. We want to catch the great views, but we also want to catch the solar gain from the south. Let's go fly back home and see if we can do something about it. Okay, it's a little warmer in here. Let me build something I think will help illustrate what I'm doing. One sec. Okay, that was fast. Might be a record for me. What I've built here is a representation of a great room, and I also brought the sunshine along with me. What all houses need to consider is where the position of the sun is when they're building their house, and in particular, how they're building roof overhangs and where the windows go. So if you recall on the property in Steamboat, I pointed out north and I pointed out south. The south is always important because that's where the sunshine is coming from. In the summertime, the sun comes up way overhead and goes down like this, sun shining directly down on the top of the house. These overhangs are great because they keep the sun out of the home at the hottest part of the year. Now, in the winter, the sun travels much lower in the south and goes just like this, where all that sunshine can go right in here and be absorbed inside of the house, saving on energy. Okay, that's all well and good, you might say, but in Steamboat, we're wanting to be 30 degrees off of north, which means our direct south sun access is going to be somewhat compromised. Later in the day, we'll get some of the sunshine in this way, but otherwise, we've got to do something to compensate. So maybe we can take and put a window on this side to catch the early morning sun. Also, what we might want to consider is if we were to replicate buildings like this, and instead of just making one house long either side of the great room, that we turn it at an angle and stagger the home so that each module gets sunshine. That's the theory anyway. Let's see how it plays out. One of the exciting things that I'm learning about designing and building my own home, or at least at this stage designing, is taking vaguely coherent ideas and theories and turning them into drawings and trying to conceive something that may work. In this case, I've considered our land, how it lays with the sun as well as the views of the ski hill, and tried to come up with some drawings that both honor the views, grab the solar gain, and hopefully don't look too incredibly tragic. Not only do I not want to have an eyesore, but I'd like to stay married. It's almost certainly impossible to avoid all mistakes when designing and building your home, particularly from scratch. It's my hope that through serious consideration and planning, that we can avoid some of the more obvious pitfalls. Not only to avoid an embarrassment and time loss, but to save money. And finally, here is a look of a top-down view of what I think will be a home that could work for us. Starting on the right-hand side, I've put a garage and then brought from right to left the house straight down at an angle to be able to capture that sun. In just a few minutes, I'll change these to CAD drawings so that you can get a better sense of what I'm talking about. I've also begun drawing exteriors with large windows that open to the outside and windows that capture the sun to the south so we can see the mountains. In the end, it's all what fits you and your desires and your needs. For example, I started with flat roofs as I thought those are pretty modern looking and cool. I then decided I wanted to attach a barn to the house, but quickly scrapped that idea. I then arrived on gabled roofs or arched roofs over the kids' rooms because, well, why not give them a loft if we can design and do it on our own? Let's now put it into CAD and check it out. Okay, to take a more detailed look, I made an illustration here of the home layout that I think I want for Steamboat. Here's our north direction, our south direction, and this arrow here represents 0, 3 to 0 degrees directly towards the ski hill view. Now, the design layout here is staggered. As you can see, these rooms sort of cascade down this way as opposed to being straight across left to right. And the reason being, again, is so that we can get sun in some side windows here to make up for the fact that we're turned the 0, 3, 0 degrees. This should assist the sun that comes in directly through these large windows and doors and help make our home a little more energy efficient. And there it is. That's how I'm considering laying out my house. Please remember to subscribe and like if you like what we're doing. My name is Ben, and this is Unearned Confidence. See you next time. As with all things building, we learn that there's compromise. But if we're creative, we can also make pretty unique solutions.